All right, so if you're struggling to come up with your message and then put it on social media where people are actually wanting to stop scrolling and read your stuff, this is the video for you, so stay tuned. Hey, Stacey Tuschl here from She's Building Her Empire, and this is a 4-part video series all about marketing, and this is video number 2, how to get your message on social media. So let's get started with step number 1. Define your bucket. So between 3 and 5 buckets, I want you to figure out exactly what it is you stand for. So what does that mean? Well, you want to make sure there's consistency in your branding. You want to make sure that what you're putting out there is in alignment and you get to be known for being that go-to expert in that specific area. So by picking between 3 and 5 areas that you want to talk about will help you become well-known in your specific area. A few of my topics that I talk about include business, family, fitness, spirituality. I want to make sure that everything about me comes through in my message, but it's all tied back into entrepreneurship. So how does fitness fit in? How does my family fit in? How does my faith fit in? And I'm constantly going back to making sure they all tie in together, so I'm known for that one specific thing. You might start to notice that there's an overlap in what you're talking about, but that's okay because it shows that you're consistent with your message and you're in alignment with your brand. So make sure to pick out those 3 to 5 topics and stick to it. Step number 2, remember the post is about them, not you. Watch how many times you say I in your story. Yes, it's your story, but you also want to make sure that they can see that they can resonate with that story. All right, so make sure you think about that and don't just give content to give content. Make sure that you give value and that there's always something in it for them. For example, I might share that I've been working home today with the kids and things might be a little bit tougher than normal. Now, I'm not going to keep it all about me. I might go back to them and say, has this ever happened to you before, or are you struggling with this too? Bring them along on the journey. And that leads me right into step number 3, which is bring them in on it. We want to make this conversational, right? So we want to tell our story, share our message, but we also want them to engage back with them. This is a conversation. It's social media. So make sure that it's not all about you and that you're trying to get them to respond to you and start that conversation. An example of this would be using that same story of I'm home with the kids, trying to struggle, getting work done, watch them. I might say, anyone have any great tips for multitasking at home? Let them give you their opinion and start that conversation. Number 4 is get personal. And trust me, I know this can be hard because I am so bad at this too. And I used to think, why would anybody care anything about my personal life when I teach business tips? But what I quickly realized is my biggest posts, my most engaged posts, were the ones where I got personal. People want to get to know you, right? They want to be friends with you. So share some personal stories, share things that make you different, because something very, very small can make somebody else say, I like that too, or that sounds just like me. So make sure you get personal and share a few things that people maybe don't know about you. What makes you different? And the other benefit of getting personal allows you to be vulnerable. People like to see real people, right? They want to see the struggles, the ups, the downs. So make sure to share that with them. Now, don't go overboard, right? I want to make sure that when I'm sharing something and I'm getting vulnerable, maybe I'm sharing a struggle, but I've already overcome it. And I give examples of what happened and how you can get through it too, right? You want to make sure that you still stay in that expert status, somebody who has actually walked the walk and that they can help you as well. And the final thing I want to say about getting personal is I use the 80-20 rule. So don't be a hot mess 80% of the time. You've got to make sure you own your space. You are that expert. You share your results. You share other case studies of other people you've worked with. And 20% of the time, yes, let your hair down. Let it get a little bit more real. Maybe you jump on and your hair's not perfect, your makeup's not done, and that's okay because people do want to see the real side of you. And number 5, come up with your content strategy. You've got those 3 to 5 buckets, areas that you're going to talk about. But the best part is, remember, it doesn't always have to be your own content. Maybe you find another person who's in alignment with your brand that you can interview or share their blog post or just give content that still relates to your content strategy. So those are the 5 tips to get you started. Now, if you're struggling coming up with content or you don't know what to post or what to say, you're going to want to check out this free download that I have all about structuring your framework for social media. So click the link below and check it out. All right, I'll see you guys next week for another video.